NFT.NYC community. Hope you're having a happy day. I'm here with my friend Ronin the Collector. Now, you are known by so many for different things. So maybe you could introduce us, who you are, what you do, and give some context to our friends in the NFT.NYC community. And then we'll enjoy a fun conversation together.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for the excellent intro. I'm Ronin the Collector. I have been kind of like in the NFT space for about 2.5 years now. And my day job is head of partner strategy at GigLabs. GigLabs, we have created basically a platform that allows for brands and creators to own their entire NFT experience, top to bottom. And so that's kind of like what I do during the day. And I kind of got into that position. Most people probably know through Clubhouse. Like I got into Clubhouse about 1.5 years ago, and I started talking about NFTs kind of before anybody else really had started talking about NFTs. And so that kind of put me in a place of being or facilitating the conversation of NFTs and how they can be applied and what they mean and how they're going to change the world, right? So a lot of people know me from just being a very vocal person. I also do NFT Live, which is a weekly show we've been doing for just shy of 2 years now, every Tuesday on YouTube, which is a lot of fun, where we just kind of cover like the top news and how it's affecting the space as a whole. So recently we've had a lot of fun conversations about the bear market and about Goblin Town and about, where we're at as an industry and where we'll be when we come out of this thing. So that's a little bit about me and what I do daily.
Thanks for doing the intro. As I mentioned, there's so many things that encompass who you are and how people perceive you and the impact that you're making on the industry. I do want to dive deep on burnout and mental health, but before we go there, I'm just preparing you. That's what I want to talk about, because I feel like you have a lot to offer the community in terms of your perspective. Before we go there, let's talk GigLabs for one more moment, as you're the head of partner strategy there. Is GigLabs a tech company? Is it a service company? You said it's an all-in-one type of approach. So can you give us a little bit more insight? Who are the folks that you're looking to connect with at NFT.NYC as you're the head of partner strategy there?
Yeah, excellent question. So GigLabs, I would say we're definitely like a tech company. What we offer, our product, is primarily the platform that's currently called NFT Bridge. That platform is basically like an easy to use CMS system that allows for partners to do things like minting, to do snapshots, airdrops, all from like a very user-friendly UI. So it's like a no-code option. And then something that we do along with that is we do offer services for that include my services, which are strategy and then creative direction as well. And then as far as like, networking and things in New York, definitely looking to connect with, brands and creators who are looking to get into the space, but looking to do that in an organic way that like makes sense for their business, right? Like not everybody needs to come into the space and drop a PFP project. Not everybody needs to come into space and auction, $75 million auctions. Some of these brands, it's a better fit to come in and do things a little bit differently. We build on flow, which is something that we leverage to allow for more engagement because of the low cost of transaction fees. So really for me, it's, anyone who's looking to own their entire NFT experience, top down. And a lot of the conversations we currently have are with like brands and bigger, companies that are looking to reach a lot of people because of the flexibility of flow. So I assume there'll be a lot of that, but I would love to be talking to, I would love to talk to more creators, right? We would love to get more creators on the Flow blockchain in that Flow ecosystem. I had a great conversation yesterday with, some photographers. I'd love to have some traditional artists or any creative, right, that would like to do maybe some more unconventional, approaches to NFTs where their touch points are lower, cost, easier barrier of entry. You can get on our platform with an email and a credit card. So it's very easy to do.
Well, I'm glad I asked you to give a bit more insight. I think that's important for the community to know the opportunity to work with GigLabs, or at least refer GigLabs to others. Let's dive into mental health. Let me frame it this way. Never has there been an industry where 101% is legitimate like the NFT industry. The opportunities for success are limitless. The opportunities for devastation are limitless. And this thing runs 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, 13 months a year. So it leads to a very difficult sea to navigate as the winds are blowing in our sails as ships in this space. I'd love for you to share what your perspective is of the need for mental health regulation, the need for, how do we manage these things? How do we manage potential for burnout, or if somebody is burnt out right now? Can you give us some of your thoughts and insights on that, please?
Yeah, I think like kind of like how you led into the conversation is the main pain point for most people, right? Like it's the fact that there's so much opportunity and so little time. And because people compare this a lot to like traditional stock market. Well, stock market closes on a Friday afternoon. You know what I mean? Like there's a nighttime, right, for the stock, right? Like crypto doesn't sleep, and a lot of times you'll go to sleep, you'll wake up the next day, and you'll find out that something dropped or something happened, and you missed out on this opportunity. So it does cause a lot of us to not take very good care of ourselves. When it comes to mental health, getting good sleep is important. Getting outside in the sun is important. Doing things that do not tie to how you're going to increase your wealth, right? Like to have so much of your time invested in investing can do a lot of damage. And so for me, it was very important that this conversation come out now, because especially, and when I signed up for NFT.NYC, a few months ago, we were in a bull market, right? But I still felt like it's important. Now we're in a bear market, and we're seeing our peers really have that effect of that negative mental health. And for me, it worries me, right? Like, because I've dealt with it in the past. I've seen people deal with it, like, family and friends and peers, right? In a lot of other industries. I used to work in logistics. So that's one of those things where it's like, you see a lot of that daily. And I would hate for the NFT industry to experience the same type of like that downward spiral as a whole. So I definitely think it's important to, one, have the conversation, two, remind people they're not alone. But three, also give them a platform to share their stories and to speak and to have a little bit of that catharsis.
Yeah, it's important to rest. It's important to breathe and to not have a million things going on, but it's hard to balance and pursue from time to time. There's two types of environments that our community will be in the next month. One environment is on Discord and on Twitter and managing this digital environment. And then the other is being at this event, right? A lot of people are going to be in Times Square for a week. It looks like there's going to be tens of thousands of people that come in either for the main event or come in for other satellite events that happen. And so we have these two worlds to navigate when it comes to potential for burnout. All the things that will pull at us, not sleeping, staying up, going to this party. And so how do you encourage people to manage themselves in these two different worlds? One being what they're doing today, right? The Discord communities and the Twitter posting and reading engagement. And then two being what we'll be doing in a couple of weeks at the big show.
I think like what's most important there is like prioritize, right? Like for me, to the conversation earlier, and New York is going to be a really good opportunity to network. And that networking takes place from, the time the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down and well beyond. So for me, I think the most important thing is like, I know that is going to be a trek, and I literally prepare myself for that. Like I make sure that I'm getting really good sleep leading into that, like the conference week. I literally go and I get, I go to a hydration place around the corner, and I get some good old hydration, because we're all dehydrated because we're not drinking enough water, right? Like we're not taking good care of ourselves. I would say that if you're going to go into New York and you would like to network, then prepare yourself, eat well, like eat, healthy things, and try to get yourself, ready for that. Because I do think that if you're going to maximize time, like that is the place to do it. And then set aside a day or two for when you get back to make sure that you can kind of recuperate, right? Like you're going to need a break from what you think is a vacation, right? For a lot of us, it's going to be work, and it's going to be work times, 1,000. But it's a good thing, but you do have to remind yourself, like, that is what I'm going to prepare for. So I have to get ready for that. And then I have to make sure that I can recuperate afterwards. And then on your daily basis, it's the same exact thing. It's like prioritize the things that absolutely need to get done, set aside the time for those things. And then this is really important. Make sure you also set aside time for you every single day. I have to tell clients, and I have to tell some of them multiple times, like 5, 10, 15 times, 5 p.m., 8 to 8 p.m. is a no-fly zone. Like that is a time that I'm spending with my family, my kids. I pick them up, I take them home, we do dinner, I get them in bed. I have 3 children, right? So if anybody is like really maxed for time, I feel you. And so for me, it's like that time is for the family. And then 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock is for me and my wife, or for me to do whatever, whether that's catch up on work, to play some video games, to, whatever. And then I will fit in, my overseas calls and things like that at 8 to 9. But you have to make sure that if you don't put it on your calendar, it's not going to exist. Right. And so we're not going to take that time. And it's very important. If you're not getting in the sun, you're not getting exercise, get outside, walk. Everybody's talking about like what's trending, and, let's not talk about token prices, but like step in app, right? Like if you're interested in, get an app like that encourages you to get outside. It's 10, 15 minutes a day. I got it 7 days ago, and I have not gone on a walk for probably months and months. And I've literally walked every single day for half an hour. And I feel tremendously better. So those are the things you have to just remind yourself and consciously say, like, I'm going to take care of myself in this way.
Is there anything that you believe about burnout that you don't think there's consensus? Is there something or some things that really resonate with you that you don't see other people either agreeing with or mentioning or talking about?
I do think that, like, for me, the thing I don't know how to put it the way I'd like to say it. I guess, like, for me, what isn't talked about enough is that this is happening, right? And that a lot of the factors for why people get to these points of burnout and for having like mental health issues is because of like the external factors that are kind of thrown at them daily. So I would say, like, the one thing I probably, like, most people don't agree with is that, like, we kind of do it to each other. And like, we should probably check ourselves, and even in little subtle ways, right? Like, you may be supporting your project and you may say, don't sell right now, like hold the line or whatever, like, and you're not realizing that someone just had to sell because they had to like pay a bill. And now they're mentally like not sure if they should have made that decision. Like, you're constantly forcing each other to, consider the grass on the other side. Right. And I think, like, as a community, we could probably do a little better to stop those types of conversations and tendencies to make others feel bad because we're trying to protect our investment. And I think that's a probably like a general topic that, most people could probably have their own opinion on. How much do we need to really be talking about money in this space in general? Because it does bring so much pressure and so much just negativity around things when it's not, up only.
Mm. Well, I'm glad you jumped on with me. I think everyone in the NFT.NYC community is happy to have us have this conversation. I haven't really had this, as I mentioned, with you with others, so I'm glad you're open to it. The final thing I'll ask you is, what's the positive impact of friendship on mental health and on alleviating burnout or protecting one from burnout?
Tremendous. And I will say, specifically, even if it's not a friend, specifically speaking about your struggles is the most, like, tremendous thing you can do for your mental health. tell someone that you're struggling, tell someone that you're having a tough day. I got on a call the other day and it was the usual, hey man, how you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm good. He's like, hey man, how are you doing? And I wanted to say I'm good. And I was like, you know what? You know who I am and what I'm trying to preach. So no, I'm not really great today. And he's like, what's up? And we had a conversation. And instead of talking about business, we talked about personal things. And we used our entire meeting time. But when we got done, I think we both felt a little bit better, right? So like, it's one of those things where like, I really think like people need to remember, like, just talk to somebody. Like if it's somebody who, sometimes it's best to talk to people who don't really know you. So you can just tell them how you feel, and let them, just give feedback. If you feel like that's the type of person that you want to talk to, a mentor or someone in the space, something that the reason that I feel like this is a conversation we should have and we need to have it like now is because the space has helped me with my mental health. Like it's helped me. The people that I've met in this space have given me a safe place to talk. Clubhouse gave me a place to talk about my struggles and to be vulnerable and see that other people wanted to have that as well, and so the last thing I'll say on that point is to kind of like hammer that point home. I am having the conversation at NFT.NYC. My talk is going to be about mental health and burnout, but I am having a secondary kind of like follow-up offsite meeting where we're gonna have like a cool, cozy sit down fireside chat with a couple of people in the space who I'm sure everybody will know, who are gonna kind of come open up a little bit about their mental health struggles and what they do to kind of keep ahead of that. And then we're going to encourage everybody who's hanging out to, if you feel comfortable, have a talk as well. So we really want to be a place where you can come sit down and talk and feel good when you leave and maybe make some friends and have some good outlets to keep your mental health in a positive place.
Well, I love that. I'm glad you jumped on with me. I look forward to spending time with you and all of our friends. And NFT.NYC in Times Square. Gosh, we're only a couple weeks away. It's so wild.
I'm so excited. I can't believe it. I can't wait. I'm ready to see.
Every time I talk to the team, it's like keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
My mouth hurt from laughing because I just lost it laughing at the joy of thinking about this small community of a couple hundred people a few years ago. That would gather at our first event and what's become. So just glad to have you be a part of it, Ronin.
I'm really happy to be a part of it. And I'm really looking forward to the event. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there, especially you and the team. And so thank you guys so much for having me. And I really appreciate you guys hosting me to have this type of conversation.
Of course, it's important for you and I. It's important for our community. Everybody watching, thanks for your attention. I'll be back again soon. Have a great day.